Some houseplants don't just decorate your space, they stick around for decades and honestly feel like part of the family. I'm talking about plants that survive missed waterings, room changes, and even a few beginner mistakes. These are the kinds of plants people pass down or keep in the same pot for years without realizing how tough they really are. If you want an indoor garden that grows with you instead of replacing plants every year, this list is for you. Today we're looking at the longest-lived houseplants that can thrive for years, sometimes even generations. These plants aren't high drama or high maintenance, they're steady, reliable, and quietly impressive. Whether you're new to plants or already deep into indoor gardening, you'll want these in your space. Let's get into the plants that truly stand the test of time indoors. Anthurium is one of those houseplants that quietly proves how long-living indoor plants really work, because with basic care it can live well over 10 to 15 years, and many growers keep the same plant for decades. This plant grows slowly but steadily, which is one of the biggest reasons it lasts so long indoors without burning itself out. Anthurium leaves are thick and tough, helping the plant handle dry indoor air better than softer foliage plants, and its roots adapt well to pot life when given good drainage. Studies from tropical plant growers show anthuriums can keep producing new leaves and blooms for years when kept in bright indirect light and watered only when the topsoil dries slightly. Unlike fast-growing plants that decline early, anthurium conserves energy and focuses on long-term survival. It also regenerates easily from the base, meaning older plants often get stronger instead of weaker over time. With simple care and patience, Anthurium becomes the kind of plant that stays with you year after year and truly earns its place as a longest-lived indoor houseplant. Cast iron plant lives up to its name and is one of the longest-lived houseplants you can grow indoors, with many plants surviving 20 to 50 years in homes with almost no special care. This plant grows very slowly, which is a big reason it lasts so long instead of exhausting itself quickly. Its thick leathery leaves are built to handle low-light dust, dry air, and irregular watering without stress. Horticulture records often list cast iron plant as one of the toughest indoor plants ever introduced to homes because it can photosynthesize efficiently even in very low-light conditions. It does not demand frequent repotting and actually prefers staying root-bound, which reduces transplant shock over time. This plant also resists most pests and diseases that shorten the lifespan of other houseplants. If you want a plant that quietly survives mistakes and still looks good decades later, the cast iron plant is a true long-term companion for any indoor garden. Dieffenbachia is a long-lived indoor plant that can easily stay healthy for 10 to 20 years when grown in stable indoor conditions with consistent care. One reason it lasts so long is its strong cane-style stem that stores water and nutrients, allowing the plant to recover from missed waterings or seasonal changes. Dieffenbachia grows at a moderate pace, which helps it avoid the burnout that faster-growing houseplants often experience. Indoor studies show that plants with thick stems and large leaves like Dieffenbachia handle indoor light fluctuations better and continue producing new growth for many years. As older stems age, the plant naturally pushes fresh shoots from the base, which keeps it renewing itself instead of declining. It also adapts well to pot life and does not require frequent repotting to stay healthy. With bright indirect light and evenly moist soil, Dieffenbachia becomes a reliable long-term plant that grows with you and stays part of your indoor garden for years. Jade Plant is famous for its long lifespan and is known to live 20 to 40 years indoors and sometimes even longer when cared for properly. This plant stores water in its thick leaves and woody stems, which allows it to survive dry periods and inconsistent watering without damage. Jade Plant grows slowly and steadily, which is one of the biggest reasons it lasts so long compared to fast-growing houseplants. Many growers notice that older jade plants actually become stronger over time, developing thick trunks that resemble small indoor trees. Research on succulents shows that plants with water-storing tissues experience less stress indoors and maintain growth for decades. Jade Plant also responds well to pruning, which encourages new branches and extends its life even further. With bright light, minimal watering, and well-draining soil, Jade Plant becomes a true lifetime houseplant that can stay with you for generations. Monstera is one of those indoor plants that can live for decades when given a stable home and a little patience, with many mature plants thriving for 15 to 30 years indoors. What helps Monstera last so long is its thick stems and aerial roots that store moisture and nutrients, allowing it to recover from stress instead of declining fast. This plant grows at a steady pace rather than rushing growth, which reduces long-term strain and keeps it healthy year after year. Indoor plant studies show that large-leaf tropical plants like Monstera adapt well to consistent indoor temperatures and indirect light, allowing continuous leaf production over many seasons. As it ages, the plant becomes stronger and more resilient, often producing larger leaves instead of slowing down. Monstera also handles pruning well, which encourages fresh growth and extends its lifespan even more. With bright indirect light, regular but controlled watering, and good airflow, Monstera becomes a long-term indoor plant that truly grows with you over the years. Aloe Vera is a classic long-lived houseplant that can easily survive 20 to 30 years indoors when grown in the right conditions. Its thick fleshy leaves store large amounts of water, which allows the plant to survive drought stress and missed waterings that would kill most other plants. Aloe Vera grows slowly and efficiently, which helps it conserve energy and extend its lifespan instead of burning out early. Studies on succulents show that water-storing plants experience less cellular stress indoors, which directly contributes to longer life expectancy. As the plant matures, it naturally produces pups at the base, allowing the original plant to renew itself and stay strong for many years. Aloe Vera also adapts extremely well to pot life and prefers minimal disturbance, which reduces shock and decline over time. With bright light, well-draining soil and light watering, Aloe Vera becomes a dependable indoor plant that can stay healthy and productive for decades. Zebra plant is a surprisingly long-lived houseplant that can stay healthy for 15 to 25 years indoors when kept in stable conditions. Its thick striped leaves store water efficiently, which helps the plant handle dry indoor air and occasional mist watering without stress. Zebra plant grows very slowly, and that slow growth rate is one of the biggest reasons it lasts so long compared to fast-growing indoor plants. Succulent research shows that compact plants with water-storing leaves experience less internal damage over time, which directly increases lifespan. This plant prefers staying slightly root-bound and does not need frequent repotting, which reduces transplant shock year after year. It also has strong natural resistance to pests and rot when grown in well-draining soil. With bright indirect light watering and patience, Zebra plant becomes a durable long-term companion that quietly thrives in an indoor garden for decades. Fiddle leaf fig is known to be a long-lived indoor tree that can thrive for 20 to 30 years inside a home when its environment stays consistent. One of the biggest reasons it lasts so long is its woody trunk, which strengthens over time and supports steady growth rather than rapid, weak expansion. This plant adapts well to indoor life because it prefers stable temperatures and does not like frequent changes, which actually works in its favor long-term. Horticulture data shows that slow-growing woody houseplants tend to outlive softer, fast-growing plants by many years. As it matures, the fiddle leaf fig becomes more resilient and less sensitive than young plants, especially once the trunk thickens. It also responds well to pruning, which helps control size and encourages healthy new growth without shortening its lifespan. With bright indirect light, consistent watering and good drainage, the fiddle leaf fig becomes a true long-term statement plant that can stay part of your indoor garden for decades. Moonshine snake plant is one of the longest-lived indoor plants you can own, with many plants lasting 20 to 40 years indoors and sometimes even longer. Its thick upright leaves store water and nutrients, which allows it to survive long dry periods and irregular care without breaking down over time. This plant grows very slowly, and that slow growth is a major reason it maintains strength and structure for decades instead of declining early. Research on snake plants shows they can continue photosynthesis even in low light and low water conditions, which reduces long-term stress on the plant. Moonshine snake plant also has a strong underground rhizome system that keeps producing healthy new leaves year after year. It rarely suffers from pests or diseases, which is another reason its lifespan is so impressive indoors. With low light tolerance, minimal watering and well-draining soil, moonshine snake plant becomes a nearly lifelong indoor companion that keeps its clean, modern look for years. Majesty Palm can live for 15 to 25 years indoors when given the steady conditions it prefers, making it a true long-term indoor plant rather than a short-lived decorative palm. What helps it last so long is its slow and consistent growth pattern, which prevents the stress that fast-growing palms often face indoors. Majesty Palm has strong fibrous roots that adapt well to container life and continue supporting new fronds year after year. Indoor growing data shows palms kept in stable light and humidity levels experience far less leaf decline over time. As the plant matures, it becomes more tolerant of minor care mistakes and seasonal changes. It also benefits from regular but controlled watering, which keeps roots healthy without rot. With bright indirect light, evenly moist soil and good airflow, Majesty Palm becomes a graceful indoor tree that can stay part of your home for decades. String of Hearts is a long-lived trailing houseplant that can thrive for 10 to 20 years indoors and often much longer when grown in stable conditions. Its secret to longevity lies underground in its tuber-like roots, which store water and energy, allowing the plant to survive dry spells and inconsistent care without decline. This plant grows slowly and conserves resources, which greatly reduces long-term stress compared to fast-growing vines. Studies on tuber-forming houseplants show they recover faster from stress and maintain healthy growth cycles for many years. String of Hearts also regenerates easily from cuttings and nodes, meaning older plants can refresh themselves instead of aging out. It adapts extremely well to container life and prefers being slightly root-bound, which helps maintain stability over time. With bright indirect light, well-draining soil and light watering, String of Hearts becomes a delicate-looking but surprisingly durable plant that stays with you for years indoors. ZZ plant is one of the longest-lived houseplants you can grow indoors, and many specimens are known to survive 20 to 30 years with very little effort. The reason it lasts so long is its thick underground rhizomes that store water and nutrients, allowing the plant to handle long dry periods without damage. ZZ plant grows extremely slowly, which reduces internal stress and helps it maintain strength year after year instead of declining early. Indoor plant studies show that plants with storage organs like rhizomes experience lower dehydration risk and maintain stable growth for decades. Its glossy leaves are tough and resistant to pests, which further extends its lifespan indoors. ZZ plant also adapts easily to low light and artificial lighting, which prevents the shock that shortens the life of many houseplants. With minimal watering, stable temperatures and well-draining soil, ZZ plant becomes a nearly lifetime companion that quietly thrives in any indoor garden. Umbrella plant is a long-lived indoor plant that can stay healthy for 15 to 25 years when grown in a consistent home environment. Its woody stems strengthen over time, which helps the plant support new growth without collapsing or declining early. This plant grows at a steady, controlled pace, which reduces stress and allows it to adapt slowly to indoor light and temperature changes. Indoor horticulture data shows that woody houseplants tend to outlive softer foliage plants because they manage water and nutrients more efficiently. As the umbrella plant matures, it becomes more tolerant of missed waterings and minor care mistakes. It also responds well to pruning, which encourages fresh shoots and keeps the plant productive for many years. With bright indirect light, moderate watering and well-draining soil, the umbrella plant becomes a reliable long-term indoor companion that grows with you year after year. Dragon tree is a long-lived indoor plant that can easily thrive for 20 to 30 years inside a home when given steady conditions. Its woody cane-like stem stores moisture and nutrients, which helps the plant survive periods of low watering and dry indoor air without stress. Dragon tree grows slowly, and that controlled growth rate is one of the main reasons it lasts so long compared to fast-growing houseplants. Indoor plant research shows that cane-forming plants manage energy efficiently and maintain structural strength over many years. As the plant ages, it becomes tougher and more tolerant of light changes and minor care mistakes. It also resists most common pests, which helps prevent early decline. With bright to medium indirect light, minimal watering and good drainage, dragon tree becomes a dependable long-term houseplant that stays attractive and healthy for decades indoors. Alocasia can be a surprisingly long-lived houseplant when grown the right way indoors, with many plants staying healthy for 10 to 15 years and even longer in stable conditions. What helps Alocasia last is its underground core, which stores energy and allows the plant to go through natural rest periods instead of burning out. This plant grows in cycles, focusing on strong leaves rather than constant fast growth, which reduces long-term stress. Research on tuber and corm-based plants shows they recover better from environmental changes and maintain vitality over many seasons. As older leaves fade, the plant regularly produces new ones from the base, keeping it renewing itself instead of declining. Alocasia also adapts well to container life when given consistent warmth and humidity. With bright indirect light, evenly moist soil and patience, Alocasia becomes a dramatic indoor plant that can stay part of your indoor garden for many years. If you're looking for houseplants that truly grow with you, these long-lived plants are proof that indoor gardening can be a long-term journey, not a constant cycle of replacing plants. With the right light, watering, and a little consistency, these plants can stay healthy for years and even decades. They don't just fill space, they become part of your home and your routine. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading your indoor garden, choosing long-lived plants makes all the difference. If you found this helpful, give the video a like, share it with a fellow plant lover, and subscribe for more real indoor plant tips you can actually use.